Hey everybody, welcome back to Small Talk Japan. On this show, we talk about all things Japan in English. My name is Mitsuki, and I'm here with...
Natsuki.
We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about how Japan is finally going to accept international cruises back after a 2-year ban. We're going to talk about how that filmmaker in Myanmar, he might be on his way home, maybe. We're going to talk about how the JAXA moon lander might not be... that was just launched a couple days ago, might not be in communication with JAXA. We're going to talk about how 4 men were arrested in Aichi after a dead person was found in a concrete-filled drum out in the middle of nowhere. We're talking about Toyota's new Prius. We're going to talk about how Nintendo updates their rules against customers who harass them. And finally, we're going to talk about the real place where Jesus H. Christ is buried in Japan.
Wow.
Roll that intro. Natsuki, you have you Googled this story. We'll talk about the Jesus Christ one last, but what do you think about it? Just one word reaction.
That's interesting.
You said interesting.
Funny.
I'm thinking fake, but
yeah, of course it's fake.
Of course it's fake.
Yeah.
It might be real. You don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean, let me ask you, where is the actual... Is there any place that really Jesus Christ's grave?
Well, we'll talk about that at the end of the show because we'll wait for that. But yeah, according to the actual story of Jesus Christ, he rose from the dead 3 days later and then ascended to heaven.
Oh, okay. So there's no grave.
Shouldn't be, according to the story. Anyways, guys, we're going to talk about today. The first story we're going to talk about is Japan to accept international cruises after a 2-year ban due to the pandemic. Japan will allow international cruise ships to dock at its ports. Transport Minister, whatever his name is, said Tuesday, lifting a more than 2-year ban imposed at the start of COVID-19. Do you remember the Diamond Princess?
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. So there was a cruise ship called the Diamond Princess that came into Yokohama Bay, I think. Mm-mm. This is like the very beginning of the pandemic. And like some of the passengers got sick and then they're like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? So they just like kept the cruise ship in Yokohama Bay for like, I don't know, like
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't remember. 2 weeks.
And then finally the late Abe, who was prime minister at the time, he was like, okay, well, I guess we should do something about this. And so I forgot what they did, but like, that was like considered by many people as like the very first like introduction of COVID to Japan. Man,
was it 3 years ago?
It was 3 years. That was like nearly 3 years ago,
yeah.
Right? So that was like, no, what? Wait. That was in the winter months of 2020. Right? So 2020, 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. Wow. But anyway, so they're coming back. How do you feel about that, Natsuki?
Great. You know, we have, even in our city, we have great port that big ship can port.
So yeah, in Kagoshima Bay, where we are, traditionally the bay was not that deep where the boats went. Like so, the bay kind of goes straight down like this. But what they did is they trenched it out and they dug out a lot of the sea floor. And so these large, even like the Princess Queen, what is it? The Princess Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, that's what it's called. Queen Elizabeth, famous cruise ship came in and ported there once. And so yeah, we can get these really large cruise ships in here. Here's my thing though. Okay, it's totally cool to have cruise ships. I just don't want the cruise ships that we had before where they would sell these like really cheap package tours from like nearby countries. And so like you just get a lot of we talked about this a little bit last week with Josh, but you just get a lot of people in your city, but they're not necessarily doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they don't know what to do. Yeah, I have spoke to those people, and then they don't know what to do, and they have nowhere to spend money.
It's a big combination of things. One, it's they don't know what to do. Another one is that they don't even know where they are.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was actually I watched a live broadcast that Alex did with a couple other panelists. We'll talk about this a little bit later, but that he did with a couple other people in Tokyo. And one of the things that he talked about is like you get these massive cruise ships that come in, they dock, all the people just get off, and they like would go to like Sengai Gardens, for example, and they wouldn't even know what city they're in. They're like, where am I? What is this? And so there's that too. And then there's also, depending on the quality of the tour, like if you shop around for cruise ships, there's like at the very floor bottom is Carnival Cruise. They're like the budget cruise ship company, like they usually come out of like North America, and like you get people from cruise ships like that, they're definitely not going to come in and like just drop cash. They're just gonna like that's just not the clientele that you really want. What you want to do is you want to go for one or two steps above that, where you get the clientele that are they have a little bit of time and money they want to spend. They want to come in, they want to experience some things, they want to go to a couple of nice restaurants. But that's not what was happening before here in Kagoshima. What was happening before is you just get people. And so we get like 10,000, 2 cruise ships would come. We get 10,000 people in downtown Tenmonkan, and you're just like, it's not made for that. And then like they don't do anything. They just stand around and talk to each other.
Yeah.
And like, so we can't move, right? And the businesses aren't getting extra business. So we don't want that. That's not something we want.
Right.
So we want high quality, or at least if they're going to come in with like the budget tours, at least give them something to do.
Yeah.
Not just stand around in downtown Tenmonkan.
Do they care about the small city like our city? They just care about big city like Tokyo, Osaka.
I think it depends on the person, but the thing is if the people on the cruise, I'm thinking about this from my perspective. If I was like, because I used to go take cruises to Mexico all the time because they're fucking fun.
Cool.
And I used to go on Carnival cruises when I was a university student.
Cool.
Because they're like $350 and it's
cheap.
like everything is included for like 6 days.
Wow.
So it's great for a college student. Here's the thing though, when I was on the Carnival cruise, we get to Mexico, there's like, these are the things that you can do and these are the prices and this is how you can do them. So we would all do that. Like we got fucking drunk as shit in Mexico. We spent a lot of money there because we knew where to go, what to do, and what was fun. If you don't give that information to the people who are coming here, like,
right.
What are they going to do? And on top of that, all the staff in Mexico speak English, because they're used to us gringos coming from the United States. So they're just like, hey, come on right this way, and it's, fun because Mexico is fucking great. I love Mexico.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, I'm cool with the cruise ships coming back. Just do it better.
Do it better.
It's not about like, because it's the directive from the government. They're like, we want 25 million international tourists this year, but they don't think about what that means or how to do that or what to do once they come here.
Yeah.
Like, don't just, this many people scan their passports on the way in. We did our jobs. No, they need to do something while they're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe people just start practicing, drum.
Taiko
to welcome people. That's it.
No, that's actually not a bad idea. And the thing is they had the International Welcome Committee at the cruise port, and they have taiko. They have a bunch of like performances and stuff like that, and that's cool. So they thought about that. Then they put all just before, not now, but then they all put the 5,000-6,000 people off the boat on buses, bust them into Tenmonkan, and say, "Have fun for 30 minutes."
Just let it go. Let them go.
Yeah, and then nothing happens except chaos. Anyway, let's move on. So Myanmar, the Japanese filmmaker that was detained by their totally legitimate, not terrible, authoritative, tyrannical government, was released due to a deal, I think, that the Japanese government made with him. They gave him amnesty, and he went to Thailand. And when reporters asked him about, what's going on with him, he said he's not in a condition to talk. So probably the deal was that the Japanese government probably told him, hey, don't say anything until you get back to Japan. And it says the top Japanese government spokesperson said that, and the gentleman that was detained was Kubota, is among 4 foreign nationals granted amnesty together with 5,774 local prisoners. So they let him go. Yeah, he's really lucky because he was serving a 10-year prison sentence for doing a documentary illegally there. But everybody that knows this guy says he's really, really nice, like totally cool person who really is serious about his job, but he got caught and now he's free. So good job.
Yeah, but he's going to tell the story after everything settled down.
Yeah, he needs to.
Yeah.
I hope so. I look forward to it. All right, so here's a fun story. Young Japanese, and this is something I can relate to, young Japanese seek greener pastures abroad. So basically, if you guys didn't know this, there's not enough people in Japan to fulfill the work requirements for the Japanese, for what the needs of Japan, which we talk about frequently on the show. Japan's low pay and stressful work culture are forcing an increasing number of people to try their luck overseas. A recent survey of 11,000 Japanese companies found that over half face shortages of full-time employees. I can talk about this because my company is currently drastically understaffed. The labor crisis is not only triggered by the aging population, but the reluctance of companies to offer higher wages. Now, this I'm actually going to push back on. It's not just the companies are like, oh, we don't want to give you a higher wage because we're assholes. No, it's a cycle. Okay, if your income is low, then you can only offer lower wages, and then you get lower skilled employees, which doesn't help your income, which doesn't help your hiring. Goes like this, okay?
Bad habit of circle of life.
It's not good. Now, there's a lot of reasons for this, but the major reason is because there's not a lot of venture financing or a lot of what, like in China, for example, they have what Peter Zeon like coined. What did he say? Like, I forgot what it was called. He said like he has this term for it, which just means like imaginary financing, where the Chinese government just throws money at projects. That doesn't happen in Japan, and so. And in Silicon Valley, they have venture capitalists, which are like people who just like invest money in just like a casino. And so you'll get these startups like Tesla, like, SpaceX that could just never, ever happen in Japan.
No.
And they can those two companies, not such a great example because Elon Musk is kind of a crazy person, but like Google, for example, pays their employees incredibly well. And so they can attract the talent from all over the world to Silicon Valley and make a really, really good product. Japanese companies struggle to do that because the income is so low and they can't get financing. So anyway, and so the solution to that a lot of big Japanese companies have tried is that they just force the employees to work impossible hours with no overtime pay. Okay, so it's not like they're being dicks. No, there's a reason for all this to happen, but it needs to be fixed on the governmental level. Anyway. So it says the minimum wage for a part-time job in the service sector in Japan is incredibly low. It's 850 yen, which is about $6 an hour, while a full-time salary does not allow anyone to really save any money, says Takumi-san, 27, who after graduation decided to move to Australia, where he worked in a strawberry field picking fruits. After a year, I managed to save more than 1 million yen, which is like $7,500. That would have never have happened if I stayed in Japan. In Japan, I could barely save 10,000 yen a month, which is like less than $100.
Oh, he go there for strawberry picking.
Yeah, and which paid him more than whatever job he could get after graduating university in Japan. Yeah, low wages is a problem in Japan. It is, and on top of that, the weak yen being a factor in a lot of people's decision making to come to the country. Like if you're 21 years old, you just graduated university, and you have student loans, and you're American, and your student loan payment every month is $300. And it's 150 fucking yen to the dollar. That's like goma yen. It's like 500. It's like 50,000 yen a month that you have to pay for your student loans, plus whatever transaction fees and whatever. And if you're only getting paid, like 200,000 yen, nijima yen per month, that's like rent.
Yeah.
To pay off your student loan. That's really expensive.
I helped my husband pay that loan. Even I have no debt. Debt. I had no debt, but I paid for my husband. I owe him.
He owes you.
He owes me.
So it's a multi-level problem, but it really only gets fixed once you with better financing. One, better financing, and then two, financing new, fresh ideas. We can't just keep having the old men, the old guards run the country. We can't do that. We need to have young, fresh blood making new ideas. I mean, there's no Twitter. That's not a good example right now. There's no Google. There's no Amazon. There's none of these like startups that you see in Japan that are like just taking off and taking over the world. Right? It just doesn't happen. I mean, like this is an Apple iPhone. I mean, yes, the sensors that are for the camera are made by Sony, but the vast majority of the money that I paid for this phone goes to Apple,
right? Not
to Sony. So they need to start thinking about stuff like that. Moving on, communication with Japan's moon lander unstable. JAXA's space agency said on Thursday that it has been unable to establish stable communication with the country's mini moon lander launched on a U.S. rocket the previous day. So this is like 2 days ago. So it launched on the Artemis 1, which is a new mission from NASA to get humans back to the moon. And it is the most powerful rocket in the world. And it has been pushed back the launch has been pushed back several times, but it finally successfully launched a couple days ago. And I watched a video of it, and it's like looking at the Saturn V. It's so crazy powerful rocket. And anyway, so this particular JAXA rocket is only 11 centimeters long with a 24 centimeter width and 37 centimeter height. So it's just a little shoebox. And it will be the country's first probe to land on the surface of the moon if they can get communications to work. So they're hoping that they can get communications established by 2 days from now.
The name of the thing is omotenashi, right?
Yeah, which is the same thing that they had for the Olympics.
Yeah, so anything the name with omotenashi goes in trouble.
Damn, you just like throwing the punches. Yeah, the Olympics were great, right?
Okay.
Oh, dude. Oh, God, I don't know if I have time to talk about this. There's a Twitter account that claims to be a time traveler. And this came up, I think, I forgot the exact details on this, but it was like a Twitter account that came out like 2000, I don't know, like 15 or 16 or something like that. And they predicted that that there would be a Tokyo Olympics the year that there was the Tokyo Olympics. And like, there's these two Twitter accounts by Japanese people. I don't want to call them Japanese guys. They could be women. Who knows? But like both of them pretend to be time travelers. They only post like once or twice. And then like, most like what they have said has already come true. And one of the crazy tweets was like there was like a back and forth where like people were asking one of the time travelers questions, and it's like I forgot the exact phrasing of the question, but it was something like, you know, like, do you live in, he's like, where do you live, Tokyo? It's like, do you live in Tokyo in, I think 2040 or 2050 or something like that? And like the answer to the question was like, Tokyo's gone. Or no. The capital of Tokyo, the capital of the country is no longer Tokyo, or something like that. It was like one of the predictions, and I was like, that's creepy.
Wow.
I mean, I don't believe it, but that's creepy.
You remind me Back to the Future, that movie.
Yeah, but that was interesting. But you're not supposed to like get on Twitter and tell people what's going to happen in the future.
Oh, okay.
Right?
What's the name of the Twitter? I mean, the
I don't know. This was years ago. I remember reading about this, but yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Ex-Olympian continues to fight against lewd photos of athletes. So basically, there's this Olympian lady. She's Kana Ichikawa, 31, who began to coach this past spring after being an Olympian and everything. One of the things that she's fighting for is, and I didn't know this was a thing, but like guys coming with their like incredibly crazy telephoto lenses and taking like lewd photos of female athletes.
Creepy.
It's like get a girlfriend. Like,
yeah.
like
is the cameraman, I mean the creepy photographer, is selling those stuffs? Pictures?
I don't know. It just said this Ichikawa is quoted as saying, "I had no clue at all." Ichikawa recalled in an interview with Kyoto News, "I've seen things differently since I became an instructor. I feel obligated to protect my athletes." And it says, while being cheered on by fans during her running career, she has been she had to be aware of photographers potentially lurking with the aim of taking shots of the female athletes of certain areas of their body, which is just like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, protect yourself, athletes.
Dude, just come on.
Yeah, but they're 疲れてるよね after running.
What does that? They're tired after running. What does that have to do?
Yeah, I mean, I said protect yourselves, but I thought about them. They're very tired of after running. They can't think of anything but people taking their pictures. Like, ね、だから.
I don't know, man. I think that part of like athletic, I don't know, showing athletes on TV is like, because it's not sexual, but like I think us like normal people want to see what the top form of the human body looks like. So like, I mean, don't focus on those specific muscular areas, but part of it is that their whole physique is on show. I mean, that's part of it. But that's weird if you're a dude and you're getting your cookies from taking photos of running girls. It's just weird. You're weird.
That's maybe true. Like Japanese athletes don't really wear makeups, but think about other worlds, athletes, they wear pretty good. I mean, they look pretty good. Like, I mean, like a lot of makeups and
look
hair.
At women's volleyball. I mean, I guarantee you that the majority of people watching women's volleyball are probably men.
Yeah, short hair, no makeup.
What are you talking about? The people watching.
Okay.
Because like, if you've ever seen like volleyball, women's volleyball, it's like,
I do watch.
Yeah, but I think the majority of people watching are probably men.
What do they care about? Like body shape? Like
They're not watching. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
okay.
Who knows?
Okay.
So like this, one thing that this reminded me of though, this, oh, and then part of the story is like these photos get passed around on the internet. Let's see. She said that Ichikawa said that she found herself like weird photos of herself on the internet, which turned her on, made her aware of this happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the other day, I have this completely unrelated but kind of related story. The other day, I was like searching for my business's LinkedIn like Google result to see what it looked like when, you know, you search for my business name in LinkedIn. And when I did that, one of the suggested searches, my business name is my last name, but it's not my full name. It's just my last name. Okay. And when I typed that in, you know, my business name and link the word LinkedIn, Google offered me a suggested search of my full name in katakana. It says Michiru Stapleton with the second word being kekkon.
Okay.
Who is fucking searching for this? Kekkon means marriage. Who is fucking searching for this?
People care about your love life.
And I was just like, Google, dude, rat him out. Tell me who's doing this shit. Who is doing this? Oh my God.
That's funny.
That was so weird. I was just like, because I didn't search for my full name. I just searched for my business name. And it's like, Michiru Stapleton Kekkon. And I was like, the hell? I took a screenshot of it and sent it to my friend Carl. I was like, what is this?
That's funny.
So weird. Let's just laugh. Look at this lady laughing at my pain. 4 arrested after Aichi man found in concrete drum in Aomori. So basically, guys, there's a guy probably murdered, put into a drum filled with concrete, and just like left out in the middle of nowhere in the open.
I thought it's under the ocean. No, it's middle of somewhere.
No, apparently it's like I don't think it was in the ocean.
Okay.
Because the Aichi police alleged the suspects assaulted, I don't want to say his name, resident of Komaki in early February 2015 by punching blah, 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 blah. And then the oil drum containing the victim's body was found in an open space in Hirosaki, Aomori, according to the police. Okay, guys, if you're going to watch mob movies, watch it to the end, okay? They don't just put, you know, it's not just concrete shoes and then just leave them there. You're supposed to throw them in the ocean.
Hey, but I read the news and then somebody reports the police, right?
Yeah.
So how would you do, like, if you met the man at the bar, if you met somebody at the bar and then telling you that I killed the man, and, you know, are you going to tell the police?
Fuck yeah. I'm like, this guy's a fucking murderer.
I was thinking about myself. I probably will get scared and...
Not me. I'd be like...
Or I can believe them.
I'd be like, do you have a business card, sir? Can I have your business card? And just like walk that straight to the fucking police. Like, this guy killed somebody, man. Go get him.
Okay, I'll do that too. I was thinking about what I would do.
If somebody told me that like I murdered somebody, I'm like,
do you believe them? If they tell you,
it depends on the situation.
Okay.
If they're all like joking about it, then maybe I don't believe them. But if they're like,
seriously,
I killed a man 5 years ago. I put his body in a drum, filled it with concrete, and didn't throw it in the fucking ocean because I'm stupid as shit.
Yeah.
No, I'd put that motherfucker in jail. No, I'd tell the police right away. Dude, hell yeah. Dude, come on. Like if somebody murdered me and then that dude was like talking about it in a bar, please tell the police.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy is stupid. He wanted to tell somebody that what he did. Yeah. He couldn't hide himself what he did.
Enjoy jail forever.
Yeah, of course.
If found guilty, which, you know, probably will be. Toyota unveils new Prius in bid to push hybrids among rise of EVs. So basically, there's probably not enough input or to make all the batteries that we need for everybody to have an EV. That's just the way that we currently make batteries. And so Toyota is right in saying that hybrids are probably a good solution or a good band-aid solution to get us from where we are to where we want to be. It's the latest model, the 5th generation, marks the first full model change of the car in about 7 years. The Japanese car maker said that it has the vehicle's exterior design sportier while adopting the latest hybrid system to realize high fuel efficiency. Let me tell you a story about a Prius. During the lockdown, which wasn't really a lockdown, but it was kind of a fake lockdown in Japan, one of my friends who works at night, and she only uses her car to transport women around at night, you know, after they've been drinking at clubs and whatever, wasn't using her car for like months because we were in lockdown. So there's no nightlife, so no need to use her car for her business. And so she says, Mitch, here's the keys to my car. Please drive it. Otherwise the gasoline's going to go bad. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, I tell you what, she's like, just drive it for the next month and just like, try to use a tank of gas. I drove this motherfucking car everywhere. I went cross prefecture. I went to Ibuski twice. I went everywhere in this fucking car. I was like, put it in sport mode to be less fuel efficient and fucking drove it like a maniac for a whole fucking month. And I think I used half a tank. I could not use gasoline in this magical thing called the Prius.
That's a Prius, Toyota car.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought that's Lexus. Oh.
No, it's not Lexus, Prius.
Okay.
I couldn't fucking use gasoline in this car.
Aww.
And I was like, what is this magical technology? I was so surprised. I gave her her keys back after the month. I was like, challenge failed. Sorry. I think like there were times where I was like, I could drive or I could walk. I was like, no, I'm going to drive. And even then, I couldn't use the gasoline.
Oh, goodness.
I went to fucking Kumamoto and back. I went to Costco and back. And it's come back as like half tank. I'm like, what is this?
Go Toyota. You're the only hope in Japan.
No, seriously, Priuses are fucking great. I like them. The only thing I didn't like about the Prius is that the one that she has is the EX model. I don't know if this is international, but it's the largest Prius and it's fucking big. It's hard to maneuver in that thing in Japan.
But still, you don't need gas.
No, unless somebody was secretly filling my car with gas.
That's funny.
I don't know.
To fail your challenge.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Trial of English speaking test for Tokyo high schools raises eyebrows. Basically, they're like, okay, we're going to have on the entrance exam for high schools, we're going to have an English speaking test, not just reading and writing. And the parents are like, don't do that. That's not fair because none of these fucking kids speak English. That's the end of the story, by the way. That's it. They don't fucking speak English. Fail Japanese education system. Your daughter, you put her into a Japanese, you're going to put her in a Japanese kindergarten.
Right.
How do you like having a Japanese speaking daughter?
Of course, great. But I will try to speak English to her sometimes.
No, you won't.
Why not?
No, you won't. Look, guys. Hey, Japan, listen up. This is how you make an English and English and Japanese speaking population. You've got to study in English. You've got to. In India, for example, where they have a lot of English speakers. I think from a certain age, if you go to certain schools, it's just all in English. And you go home, you speak your native tongue, but in schools, all in English. And if you don't do it that way, it's just not going to learn it. Sorry.
No.
So good luck, guys. But anyway, so they're going to have English speaking tests and then they're going to learn none of the people speak English.
I will let my daughter go to your English school, so do something.
I'll do what I can, sweetie. But I'm telling you, man, the best way to do it. My English school is effective, obviously. But if you want bilingual, you want like that. See, because you and I both learned our respective foreign languages in a classroom, basically.
Right.
You learn from tapes and from going abroad and from studying in school. And I learned in a classroom and from living in Japan as an adult.
Right.
That's not the best way to do that.
No.
If you have a child, you want to get them speaking as many languages as you can from an early age.
I will think about it.
Anyway, Nintendo prays for new rules against customers who harass staff. Basically, Nintendo said, if you harass our staff, you can go fuck yourself. And that's it. That's the whole story.
Kasuhara, right? Customer harassment.
Yeah. So they basically said, we made the decision after concluding our customers would understand because of the reputation we have built on faithfully responding to them. So basically, if you're a customer and you are polite and you are normal, Nintendo will replace your broken hardware or whatever whatever customer service they need. But if you like call them up screaming, yelling, they're just going to tell you, fuck yourself.
Yeah, but good.
That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, was this not a policy before?
Yeah, and then, we can get the evidence easily these days. We record their voice. We have a lot of cameras. So if you do the bad things, you will be arrested.
Do you know arrested?
Arrested? No.
Do you know what they call like really loud, obnoxious, bad customer women in English speaking companies? There are countries. They call them Karen.
Karen.
It's like the new name for like women who are like out of control and being like a bitch.
But they're are some women really named Karen.
which I feel really bad for. And I think the word comes from Will and Grace.
Really, my favorite American TV drama, Desperate Housewives. There's a Desperate Housewives, and then there's a Karen in the show.
Yeah,
and she's noisy too.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find the origin of this. I think it was there's a character in Will and Grace. I don't quote me on this guy. I just assume this is where it's from. But there's a drunk lady on Will and Grace who's like a complete bitch to everybody. She's awesome as a character because you're just watching her be completely destructive, and she's like always drunk, and she talks like this all the time, and like her name is Karen. There's basically like in Will and Grace, there's like two normal characters. There's Will, who's like a normal professional, just so happens to be gay guy, and Grace, who's kind of a little dysfunctional, crazy person, but she's still mostly functional. And then they have two friends. One is Karen, the other one is, I don't remember his name, but he's like Jack. That's what his name is. His name is Jack. And the two of them are just like completely crazy people.
Aww.
It's a really good show, by the way. I think.
By the way, Desperate Housewives Karen talks like that too.
It's fucking Karen. There you go. Let's see. Where do we want to go with this? Let's do two things. Let's do these two serious ones first. Okay, first, Japanese town live streams elected politicians' faces to make sure that they aren't sleeping in meetings. That's it. They're like, just like right here.
Broadcasting.
They're just like, look at the camera, sir. Are you asleep? Are you reading a fucking book? Are you paying attention? Because they, Japanese politicians are famous for
sleeping, right?
Like this.
Yeah.
Well, they're talking about like serious stuff. They're just like, they're thinking about which kabakura am I going to tonight?
Could be true. Yeah, could be true.
So yeah, as a way to keep them in check, they're live streaming them, and because so they had 100 phones. So the people of Ichikawa were naturally extremely over people like dozing off in their sleep and blah 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 during very like important topics, and they received over 100 phone calls and letters complaining with like things this do your jobs, or this is beyond lazy, or they should be removed from office. Good, I like it. Okay, let's move on. Next one. Don't uninstall the COVID tracking app yet, warns Japanese government. Natsuki, do you have the COVID tracking app in your phone?
I did, and then I erased it because it was not useful at all.
Okay, I still have mine. It says no close contacts with COVID-19 positive people.
Have you ever, like, even once it helped you?
It never helped me, but it told me a couple times that I had close contacts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never had that contact with me.
It doesn't help because it's like you had close contacts with people on this day and this day. And I was just like,
and then?
Yeah. I was like, what do I do now?
Yeah, what do you do?
I have no idea. I don't know.
You're okay. What should people do if they tell you that you have close
I guess before
contact?
you get yourself a PCR test.
Okay.
Or something.
Before, yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
I don't really know. What the fuck are you supposed to do? I don't know. And I just leave it installed because every now and then I just like, I'll be taking a shit and I'll just be like, oh yeah, do I have any close contacts? And just, open it up and just take a look. That's all it's there for, is for fun. But anyway, according to the Japanese government, this app actually installs some super hardcore background code in your iPhone, and it will continue to use battery and your data, and even if you want to install it.
It was on the morning show this morning, and I was like, I already erased it, but now I have to get it back, right?
So now they said, according to the ministry, what you need to do is instead of uninstalling it like you did, is wait until disable version 3.0 Cocoa update is available for your phone sometime in the future.
超めんどくさい.
So you can properly uninstall your
How do you say 超めんどくさい in English?
It's super annoying.
Super annoying.
Yeah. Good job.
Super garbage.
So I guess when I thought Alex overreacted, when he came back into the country, he had to install all these little apps and everything, including Cocoa and everything like that. And he said that when he got back in and everything was done, he said he formatted his phone, erased everything, and factory reset it. So I guess when I thought he was just being overreactionary, Alex did the right thing there, sir.
Yeah, this is such a virus. my
that's
phone.
kind of what it is. It's like like one of the users said, like I installed a virus on my phone to avoid getting a virus.
Oh,
I was just like, cool.
Makes
And
sense.
it's not. I don't think that the Japanese government is doing anything nefarious. I think that their app coders are so shit at their jobs that they didn't know how to make an uninstall for the app. That's all.
Oh no,
That's all.
waste
Sorry.
of money.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's do live action Spirited Away stage play is finally available for on-demand streaming. So if you guys don't know this, Spirited Away had an on-stage play which looks freaking amazing. They have like I forgot how many, more than 50 puppets, which as a person who's actually made a puppet before, I know that, you know, it takes a really, really long time and it's incredibly like it's an art form.
Did you see the main actress?
Yeah,
She really looks like Chihiro.
because she's a small Japanese girl.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's it.
Like, what
With
are
ponytail.
What's the requirements to look like Chihiro? Like, let's just think about it for a second. You need to be young. You need to be Japanese. You need to be a girl.
Yeah, she's from Kagoshima though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think we talked about that before on the show.
Did she?
Yeah.
I mean, did we?
I think so. So let's see. So Spirited Away is finally being released on several streaming services in Japan. I don't know if it's going to be released worldwide. But Unext, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Baemon, that is. One of the things that, as somebody who operates a production company, one of the things that stood out to me in this story was that they're not just like putting a camera on a tripod and like in recording the show. They had 17 cameras. So it was like a full-on like an NFL production.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of curious about this. I will watch this.
Oh yeah, it's a good news. I mean, I thought I'm not going to watch it because watching the engeki play on the play on TV is boring for
Yeah.
me. But 17 camera sounds nice. Yeah, I'm curious about it.
They have a Cirque du Soleil Blu-ray that you can get. It's also on some of the streaming services where it takes you through like this magical journey through all of their shows. So it doesn't show you one show start to finish. It just shows you little pieces. That was beautiful.
Really?
But they really spent time to film it, multiple angles, many takes. I mean, they did a really, really good job with that. So I'm thinking that this might be kind of like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think I'll watch this.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I need a good sound audio. Oh, audio?
You need a better sound system.
Yeah, sound system.
You're using your TV speakers, aren't you?
Yeah.
Wait, what about my ex-girlfriend's speakers that I gave you?
It's broken.
You broke it.
Yeah, I broke it. Actually, my daughter pulled the cord and then it's... But it's still there, so you can take it back if you want to.
My XXX, I'm so sorry.
Can I throw them away now?
Well, if they don't fucking work, I guess you have to. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it's okay. My XXX doesn't watch this show. Mysterious Mountain. Wait, no. Okay, so everybody, we've got a historical moment here, guys. Not only have we learned that Jesus has a grave
In Japan.
it's in fucking Japan.
Which prefecture?
It's in Aomori because of fucking course it is.
No.
Okay, so here we go. Did you know that the tomb of Jesus Christ is located in Aomori Prefecture? Well, that's what's been long reported, at least, and it exists in Christ Park, around 40 minutes by car from JR Hachinohe Station. Okay. So located in Shingo Village, Christ Tomb isn't the only surprising sight in the park, as it's also home to the Oshigami Pyramid. Okay, so if you're wondering how Christ has a tomb, because Christ supposedly, according to the that story, the good book, Jesus was crucified, okay, and then he was put into a tomb, okay, and then 3 days later he rose from the dead and became the Holy Ghost. So if you're believing the good book, he shouldn't have a tomb, but whoever came up with this place has thought of the reason for this. And here we go. It says, It was first, okay, so this tomb was supposedly first discovered in 1935 by some person who visited from Isohara City, doesn't matter, and whatever, based on an ancient document belonging to the whatever family. Okay, according to the ancient document, it was, here we go, it was Christ's younger brother, Isukiri. Why does he have a Japanese name? Okay. Isukiri, who was crucified on the hill and Christ himself went to Japan and lived here in Shingo until the age of 106. So Jesus was supposed to die on the cross for our sins, but instead of that, he noped the fuck out to Japan, let his little brother take the rap, and lived to be 106 years old, according to this book.
Does he really have a younger brother?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Well, actually, wait, let me think about this. Okay. So if you're an evangelical, no. If you're the Catholic Church, I think that their historians say that he had brothers and sisters. And I think that, oh man, this is really stretching my memory, but I think that I think in the Mormon religion that they believe that Jesus had brothers and sisters that were somehow important in canon. Do you use canon for religions? Is that a thing? Okay. Anyway, wait, we go on. The tomb of Christ, known as, and it's in Japanese, Tora Izuka, is on the, is blah, 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 like, is in Aomori, and every year they have a Christ festival.
I went to Catholic high school, but no one told me that we have, Jesus Christ, grave in Japan.
What the fuck? Who decided, like, I'm gonna just make up? Given if you're a Mormon, this kind of happened in America. But hey, look, if you're sitting there, you're just like, hey, I'm a Japanese dude, and I'm in Aomori Prefecture, and I need a business idea. I got it. Jesus Christ to him.
Hey, serious people who believe in, Jesus Christ don't get mad at it? No.
Well, I don't think anybody's taking it seriously, right?
Okay. It's like a comedy. Funny?
Well, it is to me. No, I don't know. Actually, let's have that. I was raised Christian, but obviously, as I got older, I think most Christians, especially if you're raised evangelical or Catholic, I think you kind of find I wouldn't call myself an atheist per se. My logical brain points to atheism, but I want to state that I'm agnostic because it seems like that's going to get me less shit from people. But anyway, and also I do definitely want there to be a creator, because I do think that concept is good, but that doesn't really make sense to me in any logical way. Anyway,
okay.
If you're at home and you are a practicing Christian, or maybe you were raised Christian or know somebody who's Christian, let us know. Couple of things.
Yeah, let us know.
One, do you think that Jesus Christ just threw his problem on his little brother? What was his name?
Ishikiri.
Ishikiri.
Is it a Japanese name?
It's Ishikiri. Ishi is like
stone,
rock. Kiri is like what? Cut maybe. Or,
yeah.
Anyway, whatever. So, do you guys think that Jesus is noped the fuck out of the gospel area and somehow made his way to Japan, Aomori? Wait, let's just think about how he would get here. Where would you go to get here? Because all that shit happened in kind of the Middle East area, right? Mm-mm. So how would you go from that area? Yeah, where would you take the ship?
I don't know.
You'd have to go all the way the fuck around Africa, right? Right, I'm right about this, right? You'd have to go out the Mediterranean. He
flew.
He just Jesus flew over to Japan?
Yeah. Because he's a god, right? He can do whatever he wants.
No, but at that time he was still just according to the gospel, he was just a man.
Okay.
It wasn't until he was the son of God, but he was supposedly just living the human existence.
Okay.
Aside from healing people and walking on water, he basically he didn't he wasn't Emperor Palpatine and going around with lightning bolts and stuff, right? He was just supposed to be a man. So if he just flew over, okay, what's the route? Yeah. So you take the Siberian train across Russia.
Or somebody took his part of body and brought it to Japan.
No, he's still alive.
Oh, okay, he's
Remember,
still
according
alive.
to this story. So it says right here that you'd have to go all the way up, according to Josh, who just Googled the walking directions. You'd have to go up through Turkey and everything, across basically Russia, through Mongolia, over the top of China.
That's such a long distance.
Into those islands that I think are controlled by Russia above Hokkaido, and then go through Hokkaido. That's impossible.
Yeah, why is it Aomori then? Yeah, it could be Hokkaido. That's not a problem.
Like if somebody in Turkey made up this place, like I'd believe him, because I'm like, okay, I could see, it'd be a hard walk, but I could see it. But how would you go through all of fucking Russia? How long does it say it takes to walk?
It says that it will take you 2,329 hours.
Which means
that's like
how
straight
long days?
walking
How
with
long
no
years?
sleeping, right?
Yeah, that's 1,000 days of walking without stopping.
Oh my god. Without stopping.
Or sorry, 100 days of walking without stopping.
Yeah, it's not possible. Like, I just need more. I need more details now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know. Okay, why did Jesus like throw the rap on his little brother? One, why was his little brother named in a Japanese name?
Yeah, let's go to Aomori together to find out.
Why did he go to Aomori? What was it? I mean, what is Aomori famous for? Apples?
Yeah, apples.
So did like
Neputa Matsuri.
Maybe
Maybe that area has many like Christians, Catholic, I don't know, like Kakure Kiristan. Do you know what that is? Like
the hidden Christian. Yeah, because during the isolation period, they had to renounce their. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Not in Aomori though. I don't think so.
Yeah, it could be something, but I want to find out. Or if you're living in Aomori and
if you guys have been to Christ Park, which sounds like Christ Park, just sounds like. I don't know, just so many images there. If you've been to Christ Park, let us know in the comments, because I've never been to Hokkaido or that whole area, that whole northern Honshu. So like, if you've been to that area and you've been to Christ Park, let us know. Honestly, I think that this is amazing. We should go check it out, see if we can get some more information.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's been our show today, guys. If you want links to any of the articles that we mentioned, they're in the comment section. Also, there's a link to our Patreon account if you want to support us through there. It really motivates us to know that people like the show. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.